Hello everyone and welcome to the RPES Barberville Bash by Third Party Gaming tonight here at the Volusia Speedway Park. I believe we have either 11 or 12 cars signed in, so we'll have 2 heat races unless we get a couple late entrants. All cars will transfer through those, so it should be a relatively quick night. But we got a lot of regular faces here and some new faces. Such as Chase Townstead and Tyler Bickford. A few of those drivers don't run with us all that often, but they're in attendance this evening. And I know for sure Tyler Bickford is going to be one to watch in the UMP division. The UMPs are not a division that we run a whole lot, but I figured no better place to run them than Volusia here to begin the year. I believe this is only the 4th or 5th time that we have ever ran the UMP Modifieds with Reigel Promotions Esports. Yep, but the overall format for the evening, as we just about to finish up practice for the evening, which is brought to you by Sweet Tea Gang. And I just did the admin box drivers meeting as well. As next will be Bloodline Sim Sports qualifying. They'll have 3 minutes to complete their 2 best times. Then we'll jump into 2 heat races for the evening. All cars will transfer through there, no invert, so therefore the fastest qualifier will start on the pole of Heat 1. Second fastest will be on the pole of the second heat. Those 2 heat races are brought to you by Right Rear Racing and Hinkle Plasma Cutting. We will not have a B main for the evening, but we'll have the warm-up session, which is brought to you by the RPES shop. Then we'll have our 30-lap Barberville Bash by Third Party Gaming later this evening. We'll start off here with the 618 Sweet Tea Gang number 67 machine of Grendel, Iowa's finest, Ty Dickinson. Ty Dickinson finished runner-up last year in the 305 Sprint Car Series with the league. He looks to complete the first lap of his qualifying here this evening. Second quick in the first lap. As we talked about earlier, Tyler Bickford is very fast tonight. He is currently at the top of the charts. Does not look like Dickinson went any faster on lap number 2. He'll stay second quickest. Watch the 2025 RPES Driver of the Year, the 11 of Joseph Groom out of Owasso, Michigan. Brand new paint scheme there on the 11 machine. He comes to complete lap number 1. Put him 7th quick, it looks like, with a 16.607. It's about a little under 4/10 off the pace at the moment. He tries the low side this time in 3 and 4. See if he improves. Went up to 4th quick with a 16.422. Jordan Navarro just completed, I believe, his second lap. And first lap must not have counted, but he went 6th quick. Looks like Matt Taylor did complete 2 laps, but he must have made contact with the wall or something else happened as well. As it does look like everyone else has completed their times to this point. I will just advance the session now since we do not need to wait if we don't have to. Matt Taylor said in the comments here that he tried for a 67 second lap. I don't think that's going to win you any Bloodline Sim Sports Quick Time Awards this season. But your lineup for heat race number 1 brought to you by Right Rear Racing will go this way. Starting on the pole in the 007 will be Tyler Bickford, and alongside the 67 of Ty Dickinson. Going from third, Pennsylvania's own Chase Townsend. Then going from fourth, Dean Reynolds in the 79. Then Joseph Groom in 11 will go from fifth. Sixth will be the 96 of Jordan Navarro. Seventh will be Isaac Bowman. Get the white flag here. Next time around, we will go green flag racing here at Volusia for the first time this evening. 07 Tyler Bickford alongside Chase Townsend in the front row, and it's Joseph Groom and Isaac Bowman in row 2. Row 3, Greg Deese and Matt Taylor. Reminder, all cars will transfer through this one. So mainly they're just racing for a placement of where they will start in the 30-lap main event later on. Tyler Bickford fires off, and away we go to the Full Throttle Motorsports green flag. Trying to hold off the 9 of Isaac Bowman. That is your battle for the third spot. As now you can see Greg Deese also sliding up there. He's now side by side with Isaac Bowman for the 4th spot. Best battle on the speedway at this moment. See, the fastest lap was just recorded by Tyler Bickford at 16.216. As Deese and Bowman continue to race side by side. Obviously, track's still lightning quick. So almost 3 wide here, or 3 wide momentarily. Deese has to back out of it. See if he can get a good run here, but Taylor is going to take that line away. Move him up to 5th now. He'll see if he can get by the 9 of Bowman. Meanwhile, up front, Bickford is checking out. He's at about a 1.5 gap already to 2nd place Townsend. As Bowman crosses Taylor over, he'll go for a slight slide job here in 1 and 2. He will clear him. Taylor has momentum though. Will he come back at him here in 3? He's going to think better of it. He's going to try to hold the inside. Who gets to the line first? Matt Taylor does. 2 laps to go in Right Rear Racing Heat Race number 1. Taylor, big dive bomb. He's going to send it all the way to the gator pond. He goes way too high though. He catches the ledge. That allows Deese. Deese now going to look for the 4th spot. Tell you what, they might not be battling for the win, but they are battling hard as heck for 4th through 6th. Bickford up front picks up the win. We're not going to take our eyes off this battle though. As Taylor almost gets him at the line, but Deese, out of nowhere, goes from 6th to 4th in the final lap. So heck of a run there by Greg Deese at the end, but no one had anything for Tyler Bickford up front. Your final results of some reason is not giving me the correct results for some reason. So I'll have to get that fixed for next time perhaps, but nonetheless, we know what the results were as Bickford, then it was Townsend up front. Your lineup for this one will be Ty Dickinson will be on the pole in the 67. Starting second will be the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Then going for third, the 96 of Jordan Navarro. Fourth, Kevin Goodall. And fifth will be Jacob Morris. That is the way your second heat race of the night, brought to you by Hinkle Plasma Cutting, will roll off. Racing pace truck rolls off. Ty Dickinson will lead the field to the Full Throttle Motorsports green flag, and away they go. Dean Reynolds on the outside gets a great jump. Dickinson will still have the advantage as they go through 1 and 2. Reynolds the bit of advantage up top, still side by side as they head off into 3. Who will have the advantage is Goodall on the back, gets into the fence. Reynolds will lead lap 1. Dickinson is not going to let him have it very easily though. Dickinson, will he be smart here? He will not. He is going to try to slide up. Almost gets into Reynolds. He will take the lap. He muscles his way to the front. 67 leads lap number 2. Now Dean Reynolds has a challenger here in the form of Jacob Morris. Jacob Morris, one of the relatively newcomers to Reigel Promotions Esports, as he joined us last fall for the most part, and he's run about every single event that we've had since then. So just saw that Jordan Navarro ran the fastest lap of the heat race last time around, despite running in 4th. He's about 2/10 faster than anybody else on the speedway. He was actually still faster than everybody on the last lap except for Dean Reynolds, as Dean Reynolds is attempting to run back into 67 of Ty Dickinson. This one seems like it's far from over at this point, but popsicle sticks are in the air. 2 laps to go. Sort of running separate lines, kind of spread out around the track at this point. We're on the last lap of this race, which is brought to you by Third Party Gaming. It's going to be all Ty Dickinson after he got by Dean Reynolds in lap 2. He will pick up the win in 𝐁𝐚𝐫𝐶 Plasma Cutting Heat Race number 2. Dean Reynolds finished second, third Jacob Morris, and 4th Jordan Navarro. Rounding out the field was the 29 of Kevin Goodall. Now we'll go into our warm-up session for the evening. We'll probably run, I would say, probably all 5 minutes. So if you need to go to the bathroom or anything, this is your time. Try to get the track into shape with this. We didn't get a whole lot of cars, so track needs to get a lot of laps on it. That way we can have a track that is widens out a bit more before we get into the 30-lap feature. That'll give us a moment, though, to go over a couple of the sponsors that we've not got to mention to this point tonight. Third Party Gaming is the presenting sponsor of tonight's event, and also the white flag sponsor. Box presents the drivers' meeting. Qualifying is brought to you by Bloodline Sim Sports. A few of other sponsors. F&D Awareness presents the Driver of the Year Award and also the Last Lap Pass. So if a driver completes a Last Lap Pass in any Reigel Promotions Esports event, they will receive $5 as a bonus. Green Flag is brought to you by Full Throttle Motorsports. Heat 2 is brought to you by 𝐁𝐚𝐫𝐶 Plasma Cutting. Right Rear Racing brings Heat Race number 1. Royas Graphics is our Victory Lane sponsor. RPES Gaming is our Heat 4 sponsor. Obviously, we did not have one of those tonight. Also, keeping a lookout over the next 2 weeks. our Rocket League playoffs will be broadcasted here on the channel. A lot of good teams. We were finishing up our regular season this week. We had over 36 teams that entered, well over 200 players. So looking forward to broadcasting those playoffs in the next couple weeks. The warm-up session right now is brought to you by the RPES shop. Shaggy TV brings B main number 1. Obviously, we do not have a B main this evening. Caution sponsor is 618 Engraving and Design. We have not had a caution yet either. Sweet Tea Gang presents Practice. TJ Visuals is our fastest lap sponsor. Twisted Speed brings Heat Race number 3 and the Hard Charger Award. And our 4-wide salute knot that we'll have one tonight is brought to you by Victory Fuel. Our next thing, other than Rocket League on the channel for iRacing, though, will be on Monday, February 16th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We will have our kickoff show for 2026. We'll talk to a couple drivers and go over what to look forward to in the 2026 season with Reigel Promotions Esports. Then we'll finally kick off the points racing for this year with the RPES Winter Nationals presented by Slide Job Syndicate. It'll be round 1 of 7 for the 360 sprint cars in 2026. We'll be right here at Volusia and live on the channel as well. Then the following night, we'll have the Greg Biffle Tribute Race. That'll be race 1 of 6 for the Pavement Ignition Series. We feature the NASCAR trucks this year. That'll be for 3,500 iRating and under. That'll be 107 laps at Homestead Miami Speedway. And then that Sunday, we will also have the Off-Road Series, which is race 1 of 5, the Silver State Shootout at Wild West Motorsports Park. All those events are open to the series members for Reigel Promotions Esports in 2026. It's $10 per series, or you can sign up for $60 and you can get access to over 80 races in 2026. Now you see 20 seconds left in this warm-up session. It's just about time for the RPES Barberville Bash presented by Third Party Gaming. All right, we are now on to our RPES Barberville Bash presented by Third Party Gaming. 30 laps of distance here at Volusia. All right, starting on the pole will be the 007 of Tyler Bickford alongside the 67 of Ty Dickinson. Then going for third, the 72 of Chase Townstead. Going fourth, Dean Reynolds into 79. Fifth will be the 11 of Joseph Groom. Sixth will be the 41 of Jacob Morris. Seventh will be Greg Deese in the 26. Then going off from 8th will be the 96 of Jordan Navarro. 9th, 15 of Matt Taylor. 10th, the 29 of Kevin Goodall. And then rounding out the field will be the 9 of Isaac Bowman. As the way your 11 car field for tonight's Barberville Bash will roll off as they get to 1 to go signal here at the start finish line. All 11 drivers have taken to the grid. So who is your pick in the chat? Is it going to be Tyler Bickford? Is he going to sweep the night? Or is it going to be Ty Dickinson picking up his first win in quite some time with the league? I believe that actually would be his first win ever, I do believe, for the 67, as Tyler Bickford fires off, and we're away. Full throttle motorsports, green flag is in the air. Bickford rolls the bottom very nicely through 1 and 2. He gets an early advantage on the 67. You see Chase Townsend in that black 72. Looks to the inside, not able to hold it. Looks like Dean Reynolds is to come with Dickinson. So Reynolds up to P3 as well. And Joseph Groom runs 5th. A little ways behind these drivers. You see Dickinson kind of slides the racetrack out. Got it cocked a little sideways there. Reynolds and now look to his inside as Bickford already checking out. Almost a second gap to second already. 3 wide for the second spot. Dickinson, I believe, had him by a nose at the line. See if Dickinson's able to hold it up top here and finally prevail by Reynolds to get that spot back. Not able to do it. Reynolds had the momentum through the middle side, and he should definitely clear them all here as he gets to the line. So now it is going to be Bickford, Reynolds, Townsend, then Dickinson, as looks like Groom made a little contact with the 67 at Dickinson. We'll see if Reynolds is able to reel in Bickford now that he's got an open track. He's not mired in traffic. Dickinson now has seen, at least for the moment, seems to have that final podium spot down pat in the 67. 72 of Townsend runs in 4th. Groom battling tooth and nail here for the 5th spot with 41 of Jacob Morris. See, track it's still fast, but track is definitely a little bit wider than it was in the heat races that we saw earlier this evening. Bickford continues to pull away, got about a 1.5 gap, and we're only on lap 8. Everyone running relatively the same line. You see, I believe that Isaac Bowman made contact with the outside retaining wall in the back of the field. Greg Deese runs in the 7th spot. 8th, Jordan Navarro. I like the cow print sort of scheme that he has going on. Matt Taylor runs 9th. 10th is Kevin Goodall, and then of course Isaac Bowman rounds out the field in the 9 machine right now. Bickford, he is out front, way out front. This is one of the biggest gaps I think I have seen personally, especially in a fixed setup event with our league. Pretty dominant performance by the 07 to this point. But Reynolds runs 2nd. 3rd is Dickinson. A lot of these drivers are kind of just running the same lines, about the same speed. Groom now going to look to the inside. It's one of the first drivers really to look there out of the top color. You see everyone else running about the middle line where you can see the slickness developing. Doesn't really seem like anyone but Bickford could reel each other in at this point. It seems like Reynolds has a little bit of something off of 1 and 2 that Dickinson is missing, as he's able to get such a better drive off the corner, and we saw that when he drove by him as well. Townsend going to continue to work on the low side. He almost had a door to his inside there of Dickinson on the last time around. Him hitting the outside wall is certainly not going to help, as now Groom might look to the inside. He peeks his nose. Townsend still had it at the line. Groom's going to slide up there. I believe he takes his line away, so move Joseph Groom up to 4th. Chase Townsend now trying to hold on to the top 5 run that he has going on. Jacob Morris is going to have something to say about it, though, as he pulls around the outside. He will at least take a half a car length advantage as they head off into 3. And he will have it, move the 41 into P5. As you can see, Dickinson has really pulled away from the rest of everyone else behind him. So your podium driver's pretty much set until something happens here. Obviously, your closest battle, at least in the top 5, is Joseph Groom and Jacob Morris. See if Morris is able to do anything with him. Kind of run similar lines as we spoke earlier, though. Townsend continues to fall backwards, though, as now he's back to P7, as Dees has also been able to work by in the 26. Now Navarro battling for the 8th spot here with Matt Taylor. So he's going to have it in line. Matt Taylor will take that spot away for a second. He had it at the line. Will he be able to hold it here on lap 21? I believe Taylor's going to have it here by at least 2 car lengths, and he does. Let's move Taylor up solely into P8 now. All these drivers are still gaining in on Townsend. I wonder if he has some damage or not when he got into the wall that 1 or 2 times. Now up front, Bickford about a 3-second advantage over Dean Reynolds, as this one continues to go green flag all the way. We have not had a single 618 engraving and design caution flag. Dickinson has now fallen back almost into the grasp of Joseph Groom. He has not been able to pull away from the field as much as he was previously. It's kind of a tale of 2 races. What if Tyler Bickford wasn't here for Dean Reynolds? Might have been able to pick up his first Regal Promotions esports win, but we might never know now, I guess. So Groom there almost caught the tail end of Dickinson as they headed off into 1 and 2. Groom, does he have anything for this 67? He peeks his nose in there. Is he going to be able to get his hand in the cookie jar? And you see Dees also trying his hand here to get by the 41. He really wants a top 5 in this event. As we come to the 4 lap to go signal here. Groom just not able to get enough going. He does seem like he might have something here, but he's got to be careful. He might lose the spot to the 41. Good thing is the 41 kind of has him boxed in. He's going to slide across. He gets into Dickinson. Dickinson has to catch out of it. Slides at the track as he gets kind of tight. But Groom now in the P3. I'm not sure if any contact was made or not, but it definitely made Dickinson have to get on the binders. See if Morris is able to work his way into the top 3. 4-second gap now for Tyler Bickford up front. We have just 2 laps left. Morris has been running that top side for all it's worth all night long. We're going to see if he's able to do it, as we see Dees just go for a massive slide job there for the 5th spot with Ty Dickinson. Groom's going to give more space on the top side again. One more last-ditch effort. But it's all Tyler Bickford up front. He wins over Dean Reynolds in 2nd. Who's going to be for 3rd? Joseph Groom gets the 3rd spot. And Greg Dees gets that 5th spot over Ty Dickinson in the final corner as well. So what a run by Tyler Bickford in the 007. He picks up the win over Dean Reynolds and Joseph Groom. We'll get a word with those top 3 in just a few moments. Finishing 4th, Jacob Morris in the 41. 5th was the 26 of Greg Dees. 6th, Ty Dickinson. 7th, Matt Taylor. 8th, Jordan Navarro. 9th, Kevin Goodall. 10th, Isaac Bowman. And 11th, the 72 of Chase Townsend, as he was the only driver that pulled off the speedway prior to the checkered flag. Got to give a round of applause to these drivers, though. All the action tonight, not a single 618 engraving and design caution flag. 30 laps non-stop. I don't think we've ever done that in our league. We've had one or two cautions in a 30 or so lap affair, but unless it's one of our road course races where there is no yellows, I don't think we've ever accomplished that. So definitely a great job to these drivers, and we'll get a word with the podium finishers here in just a few moments. All right, looks like we've got Tyler Bickford, so we'll get a word with him first.
Yep.
Hey Tyler, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Obviously, really dominant performance tonight from you. Uh, how surprised? Honestly, I got to start with how surprised were you that it went green to checkered?
Well, the amount of cars and the drivers that were in there, I wasn't too surprised, honestly. Everybody in there was a good, clean racer, so I wasn't expecting a whole lot of cautions if there were any.
It was a heck of a race behind you for I don't know third on back really for most of the race, but you definitely had something that no one else had out there tonight. You won your heat race by over 2 seconds, and then almost a 4 second gap to second place there in the feature. You certainly had something that no one else had. Uh, Obviously, I know you've had quite a bit of success with other leagues with the UMPs. Did you expect and did you have that much confidence coming into this event tonight?
I mean, I'm always confident with UMPs, but I wasn't expecting that. Like I said, everybody's good and clean racers in here, so I wasn't expecting to just walk away. But regardless, I'm happy it was a good race.
I gotta ask, since obviously you won tonight, and I know how much you like UMPs, what track would you want to see next with the UMP modifieds?
Man, I don't know. They're good everywhere. Um, Either Houston or Charlotte, man. Those are probably my picks for the UMPs.
Well, we'll see what we can do. I'm kind of gonna schedule a lot of these Night in America events just whenever I have time. It might just be a random day I decide to do it, but we'll definitely do a couple more throughout the year.
Sounds awesome. If I can make it, I'll be there.
Uh, I didn't get a chance to watch since you were so far out front a lot of times, but I saw you run the bottom for the most part. A lot of the drivers behind weren't really running that. Joseph Groom ran a little bit, but what did you find on the bottom that gave you so much speed?
If you can just hit the line just right and make sure you don't kick the car out sideways, you can get a huge drive off on the exits. It's just the way they're geared and the way they're set up that I mean it's tough, but if you could do it just right, you get some pretty good runs off the bottom and you carry a lot of speed.
Well, if congrats on the win, and is there anyone you want to thank before I let you go?
You for the broadcast, putting it on. Gotta thank Midwest Sim Sports, Aces, Nate's Designs, anybody else in the car. They know who they are. Appreciate everybody.
Well, thanks for running with us again, and hope to see you again soon.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
All right, so that was your winner for this evening. Barberville Bash presented by Third Party Gaming, Tyler Bickford. Now we'll get a word with second place finisher, Dean Reynolds. Hey, Dean, how you doing?
What's going on, sir? How you doing?
Not bad. Well, you seem to have the second best car out there tonight, but
That was unexpected. This is like the fifth time I've run one of these things, and I like Volusia, so that helped with being a big track. And then I just, you know, got out there and just tried to stay slow because I know these tires are narrow and stay off the gas, which is not like me. And I saw Ty getting real loose. I said, well, maybe if I can get around him, maybe he's going to burn him up a little bit. And got in a second, but I had nothing for Bicky. I mean, oh my God, he was turning 2/10 of a second lap faster than me sometimes. But we hung on a second. I'll take it. That's unexpected. So that's a surprise.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely can't be upset, especially against Tyler Bickford up front. That's got to be one of
No,
the biggest advantage there to finish. That wasn't a NASCAR race that I've seen in our league for sure.
So smooth, whether it's a late model or I guess he probably has a lot of laps in these. I've seen him in a modified, and he's one of those guys that just keeps the car straight, keeps it smooth, and if you finish second behind him, you had a good race.
What helped you kind of find your line around the racetrack? I saw a lot of drivers testing a lot of different places around the track. Towards the end, it kind of seemed like maybe the bottom was where you wanted to be, but
yeah, I was trying different lanes, and then I got my spotter to tell me, what I get for every lap, and then I was pretty consistent, but it's just you do that, you hear what works, hear what doesn't, and then of course I try to see what Tyler's doing and find out what works the best. But really, the middle and low, going slow in these things are probably the way to go, which is not me. Usually it's up top, up against the wall, but I think that will burn off your tires. Because when I got done with the race, I looked and I had 60% of my tires left. That's not a lot.
No, especially when there wasn't like a whole lot of laps on the track tonight, because there's only 11 cars. But I know we ran the whole warm-up session, but it's still not really that slick or wide out there. So I would have thought more tires would have been left.
It was still racy. I think it was wide enough, but when you got these cars with narrow tires on a high-speed track, I think it's gonna wear no matter what you do. At least that's what I think. Because what are these 8-inch tires or 9-inch tires? I think.
Yeah, not definitely not very big.
Yeah. So, but no, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad got a chance after our busy week to have some fun on a Saturday night. It's one of the few Saturday nights I'll be home, as you know, and had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, it was definitely a difference from a couple nights ago. 11 cars instead of 101. I'll take it though. I enjoy how many cars we have. It doesn't matter.
No, and it was a nonstop race, so you can't that's all you could ask for.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't believe that we went on. I thought we had at least one caution tonight, but no, I'm very proud of everybody.
It was a lot of fun. So.
Well, is there anyone you want to thank before I let you go?
Oh yeah, got to thank the guys from Full Throttle Motorsports. Always a good bunch of guys, and we don't do many UMP races, but it's a lot of fun there. Got to thank you for doing the Reigel Esports as always, and I'm going to try to run as much as I can. Proud to be a sponsor as well, and say hi to everybody at home, and congratulations to Tyler and Joseph on some good runs.
Well, I appreciate you running with us again tonight, and we'll see you soon.
All right, man. Thanks, Andrew.
All right, that was your second place finisher for the evening, Dean Reynolds. And then last, we will get a word with Joseph Groom. Hey, Joseph, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Good run there to come from the mid pack, end up on the podium. Definitely had your work cut out for you there to hold off not only Morris but get by Ty there with just only a couple laps left.
Yeah, it was definitely a challenge. It was a challenge throughout the whole race, fighting the bumps on the track to trying to figure out where to pass and to be able to make up the good ground,
Yeah, I remember one of our first races that way back in the beginning of 2024, I think. Volusia back then was like even more bumpy. Like you could visibly see the cars like bouncing, kind of like Oswego is now.
Right.
And I'm not really sure why it is that way, to be honest with you. But I mean, how tough was it to pass tonight? A lot of the drivers, I mean, obviously track was fast, and Dean just talked about how the tires are so narrow. It's tough to maneuver around the racetrack. But a lot of them were running about the same line. I saw you go down the inside, and that kind of allowed you to finally get by some people.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if the inside was going to be able to hold. Had gone down there earlier on in the race, and it just wasn't there to be able to get any grip to keep the moment. The outside had that momentum going, so I just lost it all. So we kind of stayed away from there. But, you know, we started getting mid-race, thought, oh, maybe the outside's starting to push up a little bit. We'll try the inside. And that's when we started to be able to make some ground up and be able to do something. Luckily, it was a little too late, but it was, at least it got us to the podium. So,
Yeah, I definitely can't be upset about a podium, especially in a car that a lot we never really run. So it's certainly a new thing for our league, and hopefully we'll run them a couple more times this year as well.
I hope so. I actually started racing these in officials this season, so for the new season, for season 1. So it's been fun. I enjoy the car. They're a lot to get used to, and they're definitely a lot different than sprint cars. So
Yeah, there's definitely no wing on it.
yeah,
Well,
there's no
congrats
more
on the
downforce.
yeah, for sure. Congrats on the third place tonight, and is there anyone you want to thank before I let you go?
Yep, I want to thank my family for doing it, for letting me race in the events and stuff. I want to thank you guys for putting on the event and you for broadcasting. I got to thank Lab Rats Racing. Everything that they do for me through the last couple seasons that I've been with them, and 511 Graphics and Design, K&D Speed Shot. That's about it.
Well, thanks for running with us as always, and we'll see you in a few weeks when we start 360s.
All right, sounds good.
All right, that was your third place finisher. Final spot on the podium tonight, Joseph Groom in car 11. With that, that is about going to do it for tonight's broadcast of the RPES Barberville Bash by Third Party Gaming. Thank you to all the viewers that have tuned in, all the drivers, and great racing that we had tonight here at the Volusia Speedway Park. Once again, we will have a Rocket League live for the next 2 weeks on the channel with the playoffs for RPES Gaming. Then we'll be back in action with the kickoff show on February 16th. Then the 360s will kick off the year on February 18th.